Well, hey babes, what is up? It's Haley and welcome back to my channel. I know you guys, the drink segments, the coffee I make myself in the morning, the matchas, I miss it too. But what can I say? Now that we're living in this new house, everything is kind of just like stowed away and I haven't made myself a proper coffee in 2 weeks. But today's video mainly consisting 3 things. We're gonna first head on over and go shopping for a bunch of stuff that I'm missing in the house. Some minor appliances, definitely some drawer organizers, because basically my priority with Eran was to get rid of all of the boxes that we had in our living room. You guys remember, this is what it looked like. Oh my god, it's been the craziest week of my life. I just took everything out of the boxes and basically just shoved it into their correct places without necessarily making it look nice and organized. So my pantry, for example, this is what it looks like. You've got everything in its correct place, just not organized in a correct way. And then the second thing I'm gonna get to today, because you already know I'm impatient and I can't not do it, is start some of our thrift flips for our furniture. I've got a lot of the furniture that I picked up from Facebook Marketplace last week. If you guys did miss that vlog, here it is right here. We went thrifting for furniture for the new house. I was especially looking for fixer-upper items and boy did I find some. We've got the round dining table. It's literally chilling outside waiting for me to get to it, and I can't wait to go ahead and restain it so that right over here in this area we can have the round table with the 4 chairs and have a proper breakfast nook. These chairs that I got secondhand were $25 each and they are newly reupholstered with white leather, which is absolutely amazing, but the orange varnish that it has on it, I do not love it at all. You guys can actually see the original color of these chairs is white oak, which is honestly just such a rare find. So hopefully by the end of today's vlog, we're gonna have a much more organized home as well as a beautiful new eating area. So I'm gonna quickly grab a couple measurements of these drawers so I can buy proper drawer inserts. Then we're gonna be heading on over to the store and start doing some home shopping. Let's go. All right, my lovelies, I just parked nearby the at-home store. So naturally, At Home and IKEA are like my 2 favorite places to get everything when it comes to like home organization, even like simple everyday decor, because I'm always trying to find places that are a bit more affordable, and this is a really great option. I've got my entire list of everything that we're looking for, and with that, let's head on in. But okay, so being here, some basic stuff I'm looking to get, obviously drawer and shelf organizers, a couple runners and rugs to add to the kitchen. And I didn't mention to you guys, but the cleaners actually came yesterday and our house floor is finally clean that we can walk barefoot. So I definitely need a couple like front rugs where we could take off our shoes so we don't track that dirt into the house. They have so much pretty glassware. Like I know that these ribbed cups give such a vintage feel, but I do want to go ahead and try to thrift some that are very similar because it will definitely be cheaper too. I just told myself that today's trip is not a priority to decorate, it's a priority to organize. Ooh, a paper towel holder. This is actually perfect because the wooden part matches my shelves so well. Real marble too for $9.99. Not bad. We're all set with the pots and pans, but we do have a new double oven for the first time. We have a double oven for the meat side and the dairy side too. And I do need to get some baking trays for it. They've got some really cute ones here. I'm totally vibing with these gold cookie sheets. So let's grab a couple of those. While I'm at it, let me also get a deep pan for like brownies or lasagna. And then some small pans are good in case we want to just like warm up a slice of pizza or something. I'll grab that too. Matching sets are so appealing. Anybody else? And finally, we always have leftover bananas, so I really want to go and start making banana bread, so that will be perfect for it. And then I'll grab a couple in the gray for our meat dishes. Okay, a couple kitchen must-haves that I need. Some shearing scissors, specifically for foods. Right now, we're always using our shearing scissors as regular scissors, and at this point, it's like gross. No, we need ones dedicated for the kitchen. And how cute are these colors? I love silicone sets when I'm cooking. These bigger ones are perfect. Ooh, and they've got bowls too. These sizes are perfect, and I love that it has a little spout that you could spill out food. These colors are stunning. And then in terms of like the pantry organization, you guys, I actually want to do less of these like individual boxes for products. I just don't really see a point in like taking a box of pasta, taking it out of the original packaging and putting it in like something pretty, especially when you're cooking pasta, you're usually using the entire amount. It just doesn't make sense to me. Instead, what I'm trying to look for is just acrylic big bins that I can put stuff in the pantry in to help keep it organized. Again, not to change the packaging of the items, but just to put the products themselves into containers to organize them. But is anybody else like with me about that? That pressure to kind of like have a totally aesthetic pantry with all of your glass containers matching, looking beautiful. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I just personally felt like it is so impractical and I'm like washing dishes so much more than I need to be. But comment down below your thoughts on this. Would you sacrifice it for the aesthetic? Let me know. Okay, we found it. This is basically what I was looking for. I just wanted a bunch of clear bins that I could help organize, or even these ones. Oh, these would look so good in the pantry. pantry. Love that, especially the white. I think I'm gonna grab all 4. But I'm just gonna grab myself a bunch of different organization bins that I feel like would work well for the pantry. Okay, and I did really want to get myself some cutlery utensil trays, but honestly guys, like this whole bamboo orange color, I'm like so not into it anymore. I much prefer like a lighter oak, and I think Amazon may have some of those available. And now onto one of my personal favorites, the rug section. Like I said, there's a couple rugs that I'm looking for this space. Specifically, I want a kitchen runner to go under my sink. I also need a rug for our entryway, as well as where we take off our shoes. All right, they've got a couple like really nice options here. I personally love like the rustic kind of look. This one's really nice. Guys, so I literally spent so much time there. I got a bunch of different rug options because I just don't know yet what everything's gonna look like with the new floor. It's like so new to me because before we just had a white marble, and white marble is kind of easy to style, but like the wood, the tones really matter. So I picked up this kind of style rug for the front, but then I also picked up a more traditional style rug for the front. And then the next thing that I'm looking for is just a couple of textiles. You guys know in the kitchen I have my kitchen window. It's a really nice big window. I don't want to put curtains because I obviously want as much light in as possible, but something that I've been eyeing lately, a trend that I love, is these things called cafe curtains, and it's basically like a tiny mini skirt for your window. That's the best way to describe it. Oh, it's right here. This is the cafe curtain I was talking about. You see, it's like super mini, and I love the gingham print. The beige I think would just work so well with our kitchen. I have a big window, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab 2 of these, and then I also need a small curtain rod for it. Oh, this one is so pretty. Super dainty gold, and it's got the clear top. Yep, that would work perfect. Waffle knit hand towels are so freaking pricey. I've seen them on like Pottery Barn, I think for $19 for one, and at home is selling them for just $2 or $3.99. There's a bunch of different colors, but I'm just gonna stick with the neutral. That's perfect. And then the last kind of must-have that comes to mind is a soap dish for the kitchen because I don't have one. Guys, I'm so boring and so beige, but I love how neutral it is, and I think it's just gonna go with the colors of our kitchen so well. And of course, as I make my way out, this is what I see. As a Canadian, I am very much a fall girly, especially since here in Florida, it's almost impossible to experience fall. We maybe get it for like 2 weeks of the year. So you already know I'm gonna be decorating for fall early, and I'm for sure taking you all along with me. All right guys, it's a little bit later in the day. I actually spent the first hour as soon as I came home, and I started putting up some stuff for the house. Okay, so the little curtains that we found, you guys, this is basically me putting it up, and I love the way that it looks so much. I literally feel like it's a frilly mini skirt for the window. It gives it the perfect amount of character without being overwhelming or blocking out any light. These hand towels, you guys, I absolutely love the creamy tones, and they look really good in my kitchen. As much as the fact that I have a stainless steel appliance in an everything gold kitchen bothers me, but it's fine. Let's not talk about it. Maybe we'll DIY it at some point. But with washing dishes and everything, having hand towels accessible is great. This is also the old soap dispenser that I used to use, and I just swapped it out for this one. And then, okay, the rugs. Let's test out the rugs. One is gonna go over here. I have 2 different options. We basically got 2 tones that we're working with. I'm just gonna put it up in the camera right now. Comment down below which one you like better. Do you like the dark tone one more or the warm tone one more? Eran said he was leaning a bit more towards this one, so I think I'm gonna try it first. And if I'm gonna love it, may not even bother opening this one up. But let's see. The colors are so pretty. Oh my god. It is absolutely perfect. Love it. The colors are so beautiful. Only I wish it was maybe like a tiny bit longer. But actually, you know what? The center centers this, so I actually think it's fine. But okay, don't mind my blue socks. But you guys, beautiful, stunning color. I wanted something that still felt neutral, but had more character. One of the first decor pieces are in, and there's still so much to do. I also went ahead and added this rug right over here. I'm not fully sold on it staying here, but temporarily, it's gonna work. Taking a much needed break after the day we had today. Like, your girl's exhausted. I'm waiting for Eran right now to get back home with the girls. They haven't yet seen this entire space fully clean, but it's funny, the mess just moves from one place to another. Hello! We have to buy more? You want to put it in the garbage? You know where it goes? Cookie. Naomi's like, cookie! You like it? Yeah. So beautiful. Guys, I guess Aaliyah likes the carpet. Okay, Aaliyah, come help me cook. Let's wash your hands. Wash your hands. We promised Aaliyah that she was gonna have mac and cheese. Once in a while, it's okay, guys. Most of the time, she eats very nutritious, delicious food.
And you have to put green now.
Yeah, we have to put cheese also. You want to help me?
Yeah.
Guys, even the angle of like the kitchen that I can cook with her and you can see everything. It's like the best. This is at the end when it's ready, okay?
Wow. I like this one.
I know. See, that's why I hate this kettle.
Oh, it's pink.
I I know, it spills all over the place.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, we have to be so careful, right? Here, mommy's gonna wipe it.
I'm gonna open it up.
Yeah, you're gonna open it, but only once it's ready. I don't even remember the last time I made artificial mac and cheese. I mean, it says made with real cheese, but like, let's be real, it's artificial mac and cheese. I'm one of those moms that sometimes you just do it. You wanna help me mix? But make sure you don't touch it unless mommy's next to you. Ooh, you have a stamp? Why do you have a stamp?
It's gonna go.
It's gonna go away. Yay!
Mommy.
Yeah?
I'm so lucky to bake.
You're so what?
I'm so lucky to make these.
Oh, you love me for making this? I love you too, Aaliyah. Well, hey babes, welcome back. It is officially the next day and officially thrift flip day. You could tell by my getup. It's literally gonna be a day that is hot, a day that is sweaty, and that will encompass a lot of work. Hence why I needed my big water and my electrolytes for the day. This pink lemonade flavor from Noon is my absolute favorite. But okay, after I got home from all of the organization shopping yesterday, I was honestly so pooped. All I had time for was to go to Home Depot and like pick up all the supplies that I needed for the thrift flips. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, by the way, in my last video, we did a whole thrift with me for furniture for the new house. First thing we found, like I showed you guys, the wood round dining table. It was listed for $39.99, but it was also 50% off, so we got this entire table for just $20. So we're gonna be stripping and refinishing that table as well as the dining chairs. I'm just so excited to see these chairs when they're done. We've got to disassemble them all, and the main thing we're gonna be doing is just changing up the color of the wood. But before we even get started on that, there's another DIY that yesterday I was so impatient that I already started. And oh, this may bother a lot of you guys, but remember my huge gold mirror? Yes, this one right here. It's one that I got for $200 off of Facebook Marketplace. It was originally like a really ugly brown color, and I went ahead and added like a gold leaf color to it. I'll tell you what the issue is with this mirror. As much as it looked beautiful in our other home where we had a ton of marble, in this one I definitely feel like the gold coloring is way too yellow. Again, super warm tones just don't work in this house, so I really want to give it more of an antique gold. And specifically, the technique I'm going to be using on the mirror is the same one that I did on my heart mirror, this one right over here that had a white frame. And the process is also simple. Basically what I did is I took this mirror right outside, I made sure to cover up my surface area, and I taped off the edges so that we don't get the actual mirror dirty. Then I added like a clear cloth to the front of the mirror as well, making sure that it's all sealed and taped off properly. Once the entire mirror was prepped, this is where I went ahead in with my spray paint. And I know you're thinking, Haley, why would you take a gold mirror and spray paint it brown? Well, a lot of these antique mirrors, they actually have a dark undertone, specifically a brown undertone. So spray painting this mirror is going to give us that exact undertone color that we want. So I made sure to do an entire coat of that until the whole mirror was covered, and I let that dry overnight. And today's the fun part. We're gonna go ahead and add the gold. But this is what the mirror is looking right now. It's actually so crazy to see it in full brown, but I know that once we add the gold, I'm gonna be in love. Once your base spray paint is all tried up, that's when you're gonna go in with the rub and buff. I'm going in with the antique gold. I feel like this one has a really nice, slightly pink undertone, so it doesn't come out looking too yellow. And I actually love to apply this with a makeup brush. I feel like it gets into all the grooves and the edges. I did one rough coat to cover it all, and then went in with a second coat in the places that I felt were too dark. And once again, you guys, it is raining, but it's perfect timing because I actually did finish painting the mirror, and I just went ahead and covered it up with some plastic. The amazing thing about the rub and buff is that it dries almost instantly. So obviously I'm gonna like leave it here for a little bit, but you know that the paint's not gonna transfer. It looks really, really good. If there's any places that I feel like I missed, I can always do it once I move the mirror back inside. What I actually want to do first is to apply my paint stripper to both the table and the chairs because it's something that needs to sit for a while. So after doing so much research, this is what I saw that a lot of people said was most successful. It's called Citrus Strip, and it's basically like a super thick stripping gel that you just apply to your tables or your chairs, whatever you want to get rid of like stain or paint or varnish. And apparently it like literally peels off. You go in with like a putty knife or a scraper after, and you can apparently remove a couple coats of the color. I'm gonna apply the Citrus Strip with a paintbrush. People say to put on like a super thick coat. The only other thing that you will be needing is some saran wrap, because apparently you're not supposed to let this gel dry out. So once you apply it, you have to cover the surface area with saran wrap, let that sit in the sun or outside for a bit for a couple hours until the paint starts to strip itself. You guys can literally see only my shadow right now, but this is what the table right now is looking like. As you can see, it's like super, super warm. And honestly, the main reason I'm stripping it is just because it's got a lot of like extra paint and it's just not even. There is a chance that I may even go ahead and restain it in a very similar color, maybe slightly less warm. And then for the base, as you can see, I don't know, I'm like still debating. Do I leave the base as is? Do I change it? I don't know, I kind of like the base that it's dark. I also feel like stripping this may be a lot harder to do, but I think if this was a lighter tabletop, it would go great with with that. Alright you guys, so while the table is stripping away with the paint, I thought I would get started on disassembling the chairs. So as you guys can see, these chairs actually have these wooden knobs that are covering the screws. Trying to pop them out is actually harder than I thought. I honestly thought that it would be very easy to just pop them out like this, but it's not, because I think the stain kind of made them stick to the chair. And by the way, if these get damaged, they're so easily replaceable, so you don't even have to worry about it. But I basically went ahead and just got a drill with a drill bit, and I screw a hole in the middle, and I feel like it helps break it apart. Yay, we did it! So I'm gonna go ahead and do this to all of the little nubs and then disassemble the chairs. I think our table is stripped and ready, so let's see what the color underneath is. I'm so curious. When I peel back the plastic, you guys, I did not expect it to be this gross, I guess, but it's crazy how quick the paint stripper actually lifted everything up. Using a putty knife, I just went ahead and got rid of all of that excess. It was like super gunky and gooey, but you were able to see the beautiful wood underneath, which is what got me so excited. Once all that goop is gone, you want to go in with some steel wool, and this really helps you get in all the nooks and crannies of the edges to remove that leftover residue. Once that was done, you do see that there are a couple of like little white marks of paint left over. At this point, you want to go in and do a bit of sanding. I know some people get intimidated, but the sanding machine is like $39, and I think it's been the best investment for me to do all these DIYs. You want to start off with a more thick grit, so like 80 to 100, and finish with 220 to get it super smooth and ready for your stain. All right, you guys, here is what the table is looking like. I mean, I already love the wooden grains that's showing, but obviously it is super orange. It's actually going to be even more orange because I have to wash it, and once you add water, you'll actually see what the true color is. So let me hose this down. Now onto the fun part, or stressful part, depending on your experience. Honestly, this is my first time ever staining something this big. The first step is I went ahead with something called Simply White. It's a white stain that is actually meant to remove the yellow undertones of this table, and I think it worked really well. It's kind of like a paint wash, as you can see. And then to apply the actual stain, I actually did a combination of two stains. It's Weathered Oak and Early American. I feel like together it gave it a really beautiful natural hue, very much like a Pottery Barn inspired color. I want to say that I did almost 2 coats. I kind of just kept going until I liked the way that the color was looking. And then once that dried down, I went in with a clear coat. This is obviously really important to do, especially with furniture that you're going to be using a lot. What's amazing about this product is that it goes on white, but it dries super clear. So I did 3 coats of this just to make sure it's going to be scratch resistant and waterproof. So the top part was done, and now it's all got to dry before I show you the final reveal. Okay guys, it is a couple of days later. This DIY is honestly taking so much longer than I expected because we've been having just so much rain lately that everything just keeps getting wet. Like even today is such a rainy day, but I'm just gonna have to go ahead and try this. But I sanded all of the little wood legs, and now we want to get to the point where we want to strip it of its original color. I already took off all of the glossy polish, like the varnish that's on top. And now that the wood is raw, I want to go ahead and strip it of the rest of the color so we can start with a nice plain wood base. You guys can see so many parts of the chair already have like a bleach wood, but the parts that are especially visible once the chair are together are still dark. So we want to get rid of this color and make it look like this. So I'm going to go in with this wood bleach, and basically I'm just going to dissolve this in some hot water according to the measurements on the back. And all you do is you just brush it on, and apparently you can just keep brushing it on every 10 minutes as it lightens the wood. We're going to start off with the inner side, and then I'm going to flip them over and do the other. And I'm just praying that this is going to work out. All right, truly you guys, I couldn't for the life of me tell if this bleach actually made a difference or not, because obviously when the wood gets wet, it looks darker, and then as it dries, it gets lighter. But after 1 coat and waiting about 30 minutes, this is what we basically had for the chairs. They were super dehydrated, so I went in with a wood conditioner so that the stain can apply evenly. And after I let that soak in, I went in with my stain. Again, I did a combination of Weathered Oak and Early American, but I did do a bigger amount of Weathered Oak here. And I have to say, this is probably my new favorite stain combination. All right, you guys, here is the final stain color. I am so obsessed with it. I feel like they look so good. Very like rustic, but definitely no yellow, no orange to it at all. And hello, it matches our new top dining table so well. I am so in love with how this turned out. My nails have definitely been through it, you guys, but I applied 3 coats of the clear poly coat to this. So now it's scratch resistant and waterproof, and I'm gonna go ahead now and do the same to the chairs. Yes, it's definitely a labor of love. Lots of painting over here, but I'm gonna go and do 3 coats of the clear finish on top of this with 2-hour intervals in between. And then once we assemble, we're all done. So I just decided to add this poly coat before actually putting the chairs together so that I can coat it all perfectly and evenly. I let that dry, and then I went back and took a look at our base dining table. Guys, the black just didn't match at all, so last minute I decided to go ahead and strip it as well. Put the citrus strip, covered it up with the plastic, and let it sit for a good 2 hours. The paint was actually coming off super easy, but because of all the ridges, I actually thought to use a power washer that I already had, and oh my god, all of the leftover paint literally melted off, and it left me with such a good easy paste to go ahead and stain. Same steps over here. You want to go ahead and sand out all of those rough edges. Go in with the pre-stain to hydrate that baby because the wood is super dry after the stripper. I'm going again with the whitewash to remove all of that yellow, and then once again my favorite new combination, the early American and weathered oak stain, and then a final clear coat to seal this beauty. And oh, just you wait to see this final reveal. Well, you guys, it definitely took a while, and lots of elbow grease, lots of sweat. I literally have like paint stains on me that are not coming out. You may ask yourself, Haley, was all of this really worth it? To take a $20 table and $100 chairs and flip them? Well, let me just say, it definitely was. As much as our kitchen is definitely not done yet, you guys, I am so obsessed with how this whole eating area situation turned out. This is obviously like very naked, very bare. There's no decor, there's no rug, but let's appreciate this for a minute. And I'm so glad that last minute I actually decided to go ahead and make the base of the table match the top. This is exactly the natural wood tone color I was going for. I really wanted to go ahead and try to match my floating shelves, and I have to say, I think the color is absolutely perfect. I did want there to be a wood variation when it comes to the chairs, so it wouldn't feel too matchy-matchy. I think that this natural weathered look looks so beautiful. Like, genuinely, I'm obsessed with this tone of wood. And now I'm gonna leave it to you. Comment down below, what do you think of this DIY transformation? This was a $20 table. Here's just a before to remind you what it looks like. And looking at this after, this looks like a restoration hardware table, you guys. And then can't forget to show you what the final mirror looks like. As a refresher, here's a reminder of the gold tone of the mirror before. Very yellow. And here is the mirror now. Just like take a look at this beautiful antique gold finish. Don't mind the boxes. We're still working on getting everything unpacked. But genuinely, this mirror, flippin' gorgeous. Highly recommend if you guys have any mirrors in your home that you're like tired of the look or you want to give it this beautiful vintage gold feel. It's literally the easiest thing to do. And if there's anything that I hope you guys can take away from this video and from my last one, always be on the hunt for thrifted furniture. I buy so much of my furniture new, especially items that I'm looking to use for a long time, like a couch or a bed. But being able to have your home have a mix of new items and thrifted items, I think adds just so much character to your space. And you already know, if you're watching up to this point, if you watched me sweat and stand and stain and restain and bleach and fail miserably at the bleach, then you are a real MVP. I love the ones who stick around all the way till the end. These thrift flips turned out so beautiful. So you know what? If you're watching up to this point, comment down below, flipping stunning. Because these are flipping stunning. Like seriously, I don't think that I could have found exactly what I was looking for at 120 bucks. And stay tuned for more thrift flips coming up. We still gotta find ourselves some nightstands, a coffee table. There's a lot of furniture here that we still gotta flip. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you in my next one.